at work decided to hop on top of it with individuals. He was the talk of the town. Is going down the word in the curve. You heard me? Let me just set this up real quick. Here in Southern California, it is a hot ass day, bro. Shit's hot as fuck today. The hottest day out of the week, bro. This is no joke. This shit's hot. It's like a sauna out there. Now the shit is really hot. So, not a good time to be out and about, at least not now, right? We gotta wait till the sun goes down, because this shit is no joke. I hate when it's hot like this. Like this is like, it's too much. What's cracking aquí, Mr. Pasa? Is everybody up in the casa for the raza? ¿Qué es la buena vida, carnal? ¿Cómo está el día? ¿Al tiro? ¿Al tiro como gallo giro? You already know que we just shading like a villain. Kicking back like it ain't no thing. I'm just trying to set this up real quick. Made it go away, but it came back up. I'm still going at it. Serio, bro. They be doing some crazy ass raids. They did one in Huntington Park where they fucking blew the door off with explosives. Right? And it wasn't an American citizen. That shit is crazy. The person they were looking for wasn't even there. There was kids and everything in that home. They didn't give a fuck. They blew up the door. Ba-bam! Like, su puta madre. Mira nomás. What do you think about Trump ending birthright citizenship? I think this individual's just on a warpath. He's on a tear. He's crazy, bro. He's just crazy. Bro's trying to change the constitutional rights of individuals. And, I mean, you start changing one of them, bro, then what's stopping them from changing the rest, right? Or, or people, tampering with the Constitution more. And, next, you have an individual that comes into office and completely, strips the Constitution away, right? That's why it's never good to play with that kind of shit. And people should realize that, I mean, from both sides, right? That's not something, to cheer for, but, the ignorance is está cabrón. But the Democrats did such a sloppy job that this is the reason why we're here, right? Because the people felt like they weren't doing their job, the right way. And so, led everyone to, believe Trump's lies. Is it even possible or still a process? No, it's still in process. It's still being in process. Like, because they didn't explain the ruling, all that well, right? So then they got hit with some lawsuits, right? So then now, we got to go through that to see, what's the outcome of that. Right? Because what they stated wasn't clear, right? And that's what they're debating right now. That's what they're fighting and arguing about right now. You know what I'm saying? Because I think what they're trying to do is that if they come here legally and then they have their child here, that child is not a citizen. Or even if one of the parents is not from here, that they're not a citizenship, that they don't have citizenship. Even though if that was the case, then no American would be a citizen then. Because there's no such thing as an American. Unless, we're talking about Native Americans. Right? So if we're not talking Native American, then you're not American either then. You don't belong here either then. Because our founding fathers were not Americans, my guy. Like, I am an American. How the fuck are you going to be American? You're not Native. No, but I have family that's tied to the ancestors of this country, of this... like, well, guess what? They weren't American either, my guy. They came from somewhere else, you goofball. It's like they take over land that belonged to Mexico, right? They conquered land that was Mexico's. And then they're like, why the fuck is there so many Mexicans right here? Oh, I don't know. Good question. Like, damn, that's a very good question, bro. Like, why is that? I have no idea. It's like traveling to Mars and seeing Martians and being like, why the fuck is there so many Martians right here? Oh, I don't know. Beats me. What's crazy lacking? Lucky was good. No spaces. The government never fails. Sad. It's not even so much the government. It's Senor Trompas, right? And all his lackeys, because everybody else is just a minion. Look, the reason why nobody stands up to him, even though I know these motherfuckers don't agree with him, right? The reason why no one says nothing though is because they don't want to lose their jobs, bro. They don't want to lose their jobs. You know, they all got rents to pay and bills to pay. You feel me? So they just go along with it just because they're, they pays good and they don't want to lose their job. So they just agree with the motherfucker. They know that fool's a fucking lunatic, but just gotta, secure the job. Because everybody really is just looking after themselves. Because clearly he doesn't love the country. Like people say, oh, he's the greatest president. He loves the country. No, he doesn't. He doesn't know nothing about the country's history, bro. He doesn't even know America's history, bro. The other day he was at a press conference he gave, stating that the Constitution was written during the Civil War, bro. I was like, oh my god. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, right? Like, this fool cannot be that dumb. You know what I mean? Like he can, but no, he could. I keep forgetting he comes from a rich family, so he probably really didn't pay much attention in school. So I can't vote, so it doesn't matter, I guess. Like people be like, why aren't there more Mexicans out there protesting? Like, oh, I don't know. Maybe because they might get deported. What? Like, man, when there was like the civil rights marches and all of that, you see a lot of black folks taking to the streets, or the LTPG. You see a lot of white folks taking to the streets, but Raza's not that many. It's like, well, yeah, see, because those groups have the luxury of not having to worry about getting deported if they get arrested for being out there, my guy. They could be out there protesting. They could get handcuffed, taken downstate. They'll be released. These motherfuckers don't have that luxury. They're getting deported, bro. They're getting deported. They don't have the luxury like these other groups do. That's why you don't see them taking to the streets. That's why you don't see them voicing their opinions as much as these other groups. Because you draw attention to yourself, you're going to get hit. Your family going to get hit. Then you guys are going to get deported. What these people are scared of. So why would they, bring fucking attention to themselves? That's the reason they don't bring attention to themselves. That's the reason you don't hear such a cry, like other groups. It doesn't take a genius to realize that. And then people keep asking the same fucking questions. And I'm just like, are you, like, really? Like, pay attention, my guy. It's crazy. My love bug is definitely up in the building. Love you, baby. What's your opinion on government telling you crypto is a scam for years, but they are building on public projects and passing this act clearly? Oh yeah, you know what? And I seen that too, right? As a matter of fact, didn't Trump just recently, or I don't know if it was recently, right? But didn't he release, his own type of crypto? What was it? The Ghost coin or some shit like that, right? But I know that he has stakes in businesses of when it comes to cryptocurrency, meaning Trump. Or am I tripping? No, I think I did read up on that. How the hell did he even climb the ranks to become president? He became the ranks and president simply because he was not a politician. So people were tired of politicians already, right? They were tired of these Republicans and Democrats lying to them, and the government lies to them, and that the government's full of shit. So now we have an individual who's not a politician, right? Who says that as soon as he takes into office, he's going to reveal and expose everything, and that he's for the people. He's going to tell the people the truth on what it really is, because he's not a politician. He has no ties to none of that world, right? So he was going to keep it real. And that's what people were like, fuck yeah. So that's to the, like, just the normal, people, right? And then to the whites, he was like, I'm gonna build that wall. To the racist whites, not like every white, but to the racist whites, I'm gonna build that wall and get these immigrants out of here and fuck Mexico, basically, right? And they were like, fuck yeah. He's see, Donald Trump does have one talent. He does have a talent. He's really good at hyping the crowd up. He's really good at reading the room and routing the group up, right? Come on, man. He's an entertainer, bro. That's his thing. That's his thing. He should have been a promoter. He would have been successful, right? Like in the WWE, would have been a good fucking manager. But he's really good at promoting shit and talking shit out of his ass, like pulling shit out of his ass, right? So he knew how to rowdy the people up, like just tell them what they want to fucking hear and promise them this, right? And go on all the shit that people, normally love, like, oh yeah, I love the Bible. Oh, I'm religious. I love God and the Bible. Oh, I read the Bible all the time. What's your favorite verse? All of them, all of them. That he's really good at, shit like that. What's your favorite? Oh, all of them. What's your favorite part of history? Oh, all the history. All the history is good. No, but specifically which one? Oh, there's too many. There's too many to name. He does that a lot. He does it all the time. He's somebody who's really good at being able to talk and making people believe that he's telling you the plans. Like, so when you take it to office, what exactly are your plans? What are you looking to accomplish? Your bills that you're looking to, pass in the Senate? All I know is I have so many bills, but out of all the ideas, and trust me, I have a lot of ideas. Just look at my team, some of the best. You guys already know I build my. Oh, look at all the money I have. I'm very successful. Ask around. Everyone knows I'm successful. Everyone. So I have a lot of good ideas, just like my businesses. Right? You can ask my team. And out of all the ideas, we had like 40 good ideas, 50 of them. And out of them, we chose the one really good idea. Oh, and trust me, when you guys hear this, it's going to blow you away. Blow you away. And you guys don't have to worry about the money because the money's secure. We have the money. The money's coming. So once that happens, oh, you guys would be amazed. Next question. Like, what? He didn't say anything. So then people are like, oh, you see, this guy's amazing. It's like, well, what exactly was his plan? Well, didn't you hear? He has a plan, a really good one. Yeah, but what exactly is it? Bro, you're just going to have to wait and see. Like, but trust him. And we don't have to worry about the money. He has the money already. Yeah, but who's paying for it? How did he get the money? Look, bro, he already has it, so it doesn't even matter. What do you mean it doesn't matter? These fucking people don't question nothing, bro. They just go along with it like, yeah. He hugged the flag. He loves America. You think if he didn't love America, he would have hugged the flag? I'm just like, oh my God. And he does that all the time, bro. Can nobody tell me any ideas that fool comes and brings to the table? Because he never says it. His staff don't even know. Because Trump is not somebody that plans for shit. He decides when he wakes up what's going to happen that day. He switches shit on the fly, bro. He says one thing, his fucking staff say another thing. Then he says that they're wrong. No one's on the same page in that group, bro, because no one knows what that motherfucker's going to do or thinks. Only him. Depending how he wakes up that day. And look, see, Donald Trump has this personality. In order for you to be a good president or somebody that's a good diplomat, right? You have to know how to put your pride to the side, right? You have to know how to be a bigger person when it comes to having conversation, debating, and all of that, right? But Trump's the opposite of that. If Trump feels like these world leaders say something like a smart remark or maybe say something like aggressively, then Donald Trump, all of a sudden, he'll be like, fuck this fool. Then I'm not going to do no business with him. Fuck him. He's going to have to kiss my ass now. And it's like, bro, you're going to fuck up the economy. Just fucking put your pride to the side. It wasn't even a big old deal, bro. Like what he said. It wasn't that much of a big deal. Like, just let that shit slide and let's get this shit done. But he's not one of those people. He's not like, fuck that. Hell no. That fool ain't going to talk to me like that. I don't give a fuck if I, fuck up the economy. But that fool's going to respect me. Like, so you'd rather fuck up the economy and get the respect than actually fix the economy and let some childish bullshit slide? Yes. That's the reason why some of these other fucking countries that are being ruled by dictators, why their fucking countries suck. Because they refuse to put their pride to the side. They care more about being the machos than getting shit done. You know, they're immature, bro. Donald Trump's one of those folks. You know what I mean? There's a reason why he bombed Iran. Fool couldn't stand that. Finally, the United States and Iran were building good relationship because of the Obama billing that was set in motion with the negotiation between us and Iran. He couldn't stand that it was fucking Obama that did that. That's the reason when he took office, one of the first things he did was fucking remove that, right? And then we got this whole fucking big ass mess because he was like, man, fuck that. Obama ain't gonna fix shit. And you know, Iran does seem like their president does seem like he's an asshole like that, right? So he probably didn't have, you know, he probably wasn't good with having conversation with Trump. How do we know this to be so? Because we seen it front and center when he was talking to the president of Ukraine, how he acts. You get me? Once he gets mad, once he feels like, you know that somebody's, cheap shotting him, bro, then you see how he reacts. That's how we know that's why this is. Where's the evidence? Just look at that fucking interaction in itself. It's all the evidence you need. Just look at it anytime anybody critiques him, how he takes to his fucking social media and starts talking shit on them. When even what they said wasn't even so bad. Right? And it's valid. He's like, oh, these motherfuckers. How dare they question their daddy? What are the best jobs to get? Well, there's got to be a lot of job openings for people now. Melania's coin, and they have the World Liberty, which buys. Yeah. How are you? I'm good. How about you, George? You mess with Sloppy Joes? Oh yeah, Sloppy Joes are good, bro. Yes, they will pass and use XRP. What border control? What about Mexicans paying for the wall? Where bro, you know Mexico. Yeah. If people really believed him when he said that Mexico was gonna pay for the wall, then I really, it's because if they're at a Trump rally, right? It's a fucking political rally, right? So it has to deal with politics, right? It's a rally. So I figured all those people that were there would understand how politics work and understood politics, right? But then when there's fools are cheering because he's saying that Mexico's gonna pay for the wall, then I'm just like, damn, these fools have absolutely no fucking idea how governments work and how politics work. Like, like what the fuck? Like, why the fuck would Mexico pay for the wall, bro? Goofballs. And then they just forget about it, right? When it doesn't happen, they just forget about it, right? All the things he promises, it's just like, what about when he promises? What about, it doesn't matter. They're willing to put up with all his lies, his bullshit, and his empty promises just because, he's for the red team, bro. Just because they're Republican. They don't have to know nothing about politics. They don't have to know. All they know is that they grew up being Republicans because their parents were Republicans, right? And that's all they know. So they're not going to betray their party or their side because they grew up being Republicans, bro, because that's what their parents were. So, you ain't going to say that my parents were rooting for the wrong side. No, my parents knew everything, and they knew what was right, and Republicans is the right side to be. Most people, that's the reason why they don't turn on their parties, bro, because they were raised to be that party. Everyone around them is that party. Everyone they associate with is from that party. That's the reason why they keep repeating the lies. They repeat the bullshit, why they put up with the bullshit. You know what I mean? That's all they knew growing up. That's all they know. It's kind of like the streets. You know that you get nothing out of the streets, death, jail, you might get killed, you arrested, but people still, because that's all they know. These individuals, gangs and politics, bro, they work similarly. You'll be surprised how much similarities do they have in common. Shit, even in colors. What's cracking like a Dutch fool? I like the video you made of government supposedly controlling the weather. Yeah, it's and the individual, he actually told me all about that, and this was like 3 months ago, right? It took me like 3 months. It's because I had to do a lot of digging, bro. There was all kinds of shit, bro. There was all kinds of crap. I just wanted to make sure, like, okay, I wasn't missing something, right? Because a lot of people do believe it, right? So I was like, if so many people believe it, there has to be some kind of concrete, right? So I just wanted to make sure. So, it took me a while, right? He kept, reminding me, and I was like, I'm still working on it, bro. But that's because it was a lot of shit to go through, right? But, everything I seen was just like, there was no valid ground to it, though. You know what I mean? Just a whole lot of people, speculating, right? And important people too, like high figures, like fucking uh, the senator for what's her name, Green, Margaret Green. She's one of the ones that's fucking pushes that propaganda. To be honest with you, out of all of them, she's the one that I'm just like, how the fuck did you get into the position of power that you're in? Like, how did you get? Who voted for you? Like, I don't mean to offend her or nothing like that, but fuck, bro, she's something else, bro. She's way out there. She's I'm still mind blown of how people like her could still exist in this planet. Like damn, bro. Like, who raised you? That's crazy. Hey, but nah. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised. I mean, it wasn't slavery was still around. That it wasn't even that long ago, right? When we still had fucking segregation and fucking race riots and all kinds of shit, right? It really wasn't that long ago. So you still see a lot of those people walking around from time to time. Because it truly really wasn't that long ago. Trump knows how to manipulate people. Yeah, Trump's really good at lying and being a con artist. What helps him though, it's not even so much that he's really good at it, but what helps him more than anything else is his wealth that was actually inherited. But because he's rich, that's the reason people believe him. Because he's rich, and that's the only reason why. People tend to believe whatever rich people or people who have like wealth and celebrity status, they tend to believe every fucking word they say. You have people out here that are fucking saying that these, like, let's say when a celebrity or a rapper gets arrested, they're innocent, they would never do that. How do you fucking know? Why? Because you listen to his music? Because one he sings your favorite rap song? That's the reason you know that he wouldn't do this? Yeah, because you grew up with him, you were fucking there. Yes, that it's beneath him or he's above that. How do you don't know this person? You don't know not one thing about him. Just because you watch his movies or you hear his music, you think you know the vato. You don't know that fool. Don't be standing and dying on the hill for somebody you don't know. My favorite rapper is Ice Cube. But if somebody comes up with some shit, I'm not gonna be like, oh, he would have never done that. I don't fucking know. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna be fucking acting like if I know that vato, like if I grew up with him and we're besties. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, he probably did. Like, do you believe he did it? I don't know, he probably did. He probably did it. I don't fucking know. We'll just wait and see, right? But to think that somebody's above that, like they would never do that, like what? How do you fucking know, bro? You don't know what people are truly capable of. You don't know what fucking skeleton people are harboring. But people fucking swear just because they see somebody on TV that they're just like the ones, right? But see, the thing is because they're living how these people dream that they could live, right? Like, so the fact that they're rich and live the life that they want to live, they feel like if they were to be in that position, they would never throw it away. They would never do something stupid to risk, all of that. Yeah, because you grew up poor, because you idolize these people. You know what I mean? That's why you feel like if you were to obtain that, you would never, throw it away. These people didn't grow up like you, so they think different than you. They don't think the same as you. You know, you know what it takes to climb from the bottom to the top and appreciate everything you have. They don't. You know what I mean? They grew up being spoiled. They take everything for granted. They're not like you. They don't think like you. Not everyone thinks the same, bro. People are different. You know what I mean? And in my personal opinion, he's a fucking narcissist, grandiosus for that matter. Sad how the you. Would you say he's a con artist? Oh yeah. See, that's the thing though. The reason why when he hugged the flag, it's not so much like, oh, you hug a stripper, and plus I don't know who hugs strippers, right? I mean, if you're hugging a stripper, then you probably want to do something, right? So you already have some, motives in mind. But meaning when he did it, he knew what he was doing, right? Because nobody just does that. Nobody just does that. He did it because he was trying to play to the crowd that he's really patriotic when he's not. Because if he really was patriotic, then he wouldn't have felt the need to do that. Because people just don't do that, right? But when you're trying to play the part, like he's really trying to play the part, that's the reason why he did that. He's trying to come off like that. So it doesn't come off something natural, right? Like if he was to really be patriotic. You know what I'm saying? Oh no, I don't hit the club. That was never my thing either. What up? Mexicans ain't going anywhere. No, but see, that's the thing. It's not even just a Mexican problem though. It's an immigration problem, like because it's affecting multiple ethnicities, not just Mexicans. I don't think that what he said. Shadow has never denied America is the greatest country. Just like that's what I'm saying. Like America is a great country. You know what I mean? It's one of the greatest countries in the world. You know, that's the reason why people literally risk their lives coming over here, right? Because America is great. You know what I'm saying? But just because America is great doesn't mean that it doesn't have its problems. Doesn't mean that that we can't fix stuff and make it better. You get what I mean? Like he says, making America greater or better again, right? Even though, well, like I said, it's always a work in progress, right? Like we can always look better. Like you should never just be like, oh, just be grateful that you have, rights here that you don't have in your, in like if you were to be in Mexico. It's kind of like saying like if you live in a country where women get raped, right? And you tell them, hey, don't whine and complain about it. In other countries, they get murdered. Right here, you don't get murdered. You just get raped. It's not as bad. So, be grateful. It's like, no, just because they're not getting killed doesn't mean that we can't fucking push to better situations where, how about they don't get raped or murdered? How about that? Like, just because, other countries have it worse doesn't mean that you should fucking not fight to make this place better, right? Or that there's no injustice happening. You know what I mean? It's so easy to say that when you're the one that's talking when you never been to these problems, like you never had to walk in those shoes, when you can't relate to the people or the situations or scenarios. I mean, he's over here talking about how English should be the language of America, right? Like how you should be able to speak English. Yeah, yeah, okay. Hey, next time you have a rally, hey, let your wife speak. Let your wife give the speech. Let's see how that goes. You over here want to talk about these individuals how they can't speak proper English, bro? Have you heard your wife? Oh, that's right. You guys don't really talk to each other, huh? Has anybody heard his wife speak? But right there, like, oh no. And if you question it, the ones that are for him, they get all buttered. Like, hey, come on. Why are you guys taking shots at her for? Like, bro, come on now. Do you not see the hypocrisy here? I asked you about people saying 50. Is it winning 2 months ago? What happened last week is the reason why I asked that, why people were calling him. I kind of like figured that, right? But I just don't dive into those kind of conversations, because when and I get told a lot right on my email like, hey, have you heard about the Swifty? Make a video about the Swifty. And I'm just like, no, no. And the reason for it is just like, there's no reason for me to make a video about that, right? Like, the people don't need to know this kind of stuff. They don't need to know anything. Like, this shit does not concern anybody, except the ones that are involved. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why would I come and make a video about information that truly, it doesn't, relate to anybody, and it's irrelevant to everybody, right? So what does it matter? You get what I mean? I just don't see a point. I don't see the point in it. You get what I mean? Now, if there's people that make videos about it, hey, that's within their right, bro. Anybody on YouTube can make whatever kind of content that they want. You know what I mean? I can't tell the next man what they should make a video about and can't make a video about, right? Or what people should watch or can't watch. People are entitled to watch whatever the fuck they want. You know what I mean? So they could make videos about it. It's like why would I be butthurt about it? You know what I mean? Like I said, because it's irrelevant. The information they're putting out, it's irrelevant to people. Like let's say because most of the people that are on YouTube are not gang related. They're not gang related people. So what are they going to do with this information? Why do they care for this information? Right? So it's like, it makes no difference. Unless you're trying to paint people to look at people a certain way. But even then, right, people are still going to support and like and dislike whoever they choose, regardless of information that's put out there. So it really doesn't make a difference. Now, you give your opinion, like, when we're talking about, like, a subject on something, right, that's like, how could I say, that's put out there, like society wise, right, like music or a movie or an actor or something like that, right, that you're discussing your opinion on the quality of film or music. But this is talking about his gangster status, him as it portrays in the neighborhood, which neighborhood information only matters to those who are in the gang life and involved within the gang, which the YouTube audience is not. So therefore, it's irrelevant compared to, like, even though he is a rapper, like, he's a rapper, so he's the public figure, whatever, right? But what's being questioned is not his rapping skills or his rapping career. It's his gangster status and his involvement within the gang, which is not something that's public thing. Right? So there's a difference, though, compared to, like, if we're talking about, Denzel Washington or Ice Cube, who have no gang ties. You know what I mean? All right, ladies and gentlemen, my lunch break is over. We got to get back to it. It was good chopping it up with you guys, and we out.